Hello, I'm Roger Corman. Peter Bogdanovich brought St. Jack to me. He, of course, had started with me when he did Targets, and we'd remained close. He'd been my assistant for a number of years. We worked together, and we were good friends. St. Jack was from a novel by Paul Theroux, and he had developed a screenplay with Hugh Hefner. And Hugh was going to finance the picture and then pulled out at the last minute. And Peter asked me if I would be interested in coming in to produce the picture and finance it. And I did, and we went to Singapore and made the film.
A whorehouse is always a good investment. Who?
Peter and I had lunch with Hugh Hefner at his place, the Playboy Mansion. It was very pleasant, very amiable. We had a very nice lunch. Everybody was happy, and that's the last I ever heard from Hugh Hefner.
In Manila, I think. I was down on my luck and broke. Went to see about this job on a ship, and the skipper asked me what I did. I said, I do anything, but I'm really a writer. He says, oh, you write, do you? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, pick up that pad and pencil. So I pick up the pad and pencil. He says, write. I said, shoot. He said, carrots, 400 pounds. Flour, 80 pounds.
Ben Gazzara played the lead, Jack, who is sort of a run-down American expatriate in Singapore who's running a whorehouse. And he was very, very good in the film. I've always felt that Ben should have been a bigger star. His career got off to a great start. He was a star on Broadway. He starred in major films in Hollywood. And as he got older, it slipped a little bit away from him. And the fact that he was a little bit older with his background fitted the part of Jack very well. So he was a natural from the standpoint of casting, and he was a great guy to work with. I mean, he was an intelligent, sensitive actor, and I think he actually gave one of his best performances in St. Jack.
Plymouth Pink.
Oh, a Plymouth Pink. Do you want sherry in it?
Are you a navy man? Shall we pipe you aboard? How very agreeable.
We cast a number of British actors in the film because Singapore, at the time the picture was taking place, which was supposed to be the Vietnam War, was still very heavily influenced by English expatriates. Denham Elliott, one of the more important of the English actors we had, and he, as with the others, was very, very good. I was very pleased with all of the acting in the film.
Well, the Army's still in the cat house business, Jack, but I guess you wouldn't be interested in that.
Because we didn't have enough money to bring a whole lot of actors from the United States and from England to Singapore, Peter played a key role in the film, and he was excellent. He's a very, very good actor. He's appeared in several films. He's played off-Broadway, and he was a key role in The Sopranos a few years ago.
I mean, the choice isn't very big. Most people don't realize that. It boils down to 5. There's boys, girls, dirty pictures, exhibition, massage, combination thereof. Now, what did you have in mind?
St. Jack, as with every film, goes through a number of cuts. I was very pleased with every cut, and I was delighted with the final cut. I think it's one of the best films Peter ever directed, and I think it's one of the best films I've produced.
Wasn't for me. You think any red-headed skippers would buy from you? What, because of your charm?
Peter's comment that it was one of the best films he ever directed, but that it didn't get the distribution it should have, is half correct. It is one of the best films he ever directed, but it got a great distribution. We pushed that film. As a matter of fact, we over-pushed it slightly in order to get the foreign sale. When we opened in New York, we were doing good business, and we got good reviews, and I knew the foreign buyers would want to see how the picture progressed after the opening week in New York and other places, and I slightly overspent on the advertising in order to push the picture to higher grosses. It was known as buying a gross. So therefore, it not only got a good distribution, it got a better distribution than it normally would have, because I was pushing it to get bigger figures in order to get the foreign sale that would allow us to break even and make a profit.
You're a ponce, aren't you?
Hard to say what anyone is.
Well, I only mention it because, personally speaking, I can never bring myself to pay.
William, people make love for so many crazy reasons. Why shouldn't money be one of them? Huh?
The experience of shooting St. Jack was positive except for one thing. We went over budget. Other than going over budget, the picture went smoothly. Peter did really a brilliant job of directing. Ben Gazzara was excellent as Jack, the lead in the picture, and the Singapore locations were wonderful. The film got amazingly good reviews. As a matter of fact, brilliant reviews. It wasn't the top prize, but it won, I think, the Critics' Prize at the Venice Film Festival. And we came out all right financially because when we opened in New York, the business was so good and the reviews were so good, we were able to sell the foreign rights for more than we normally did. So even though the picture went over budget, we ended up as a profitable film.
You boys want to buy anything?
Many man?
No, Fred. Fred, take your monk and go home, huh?
We had some censorship problems with the Singapore government. The fact that the picture took place to a large extent in a whorehouse and did not possibly reflect favorably on every aspect of life in Singapore caused us a little bit of problem. The solution, which Peter came up with, he rewrote a few pages, maybe a little bit more than a few pages of the script, and that was the script we submitted to the Singapore government. Afterwards, the film wasn't allowed to be shown in Singapore for a number of years, and then out of the blue, there was a festival, a film festival in Singapore, and St. Jack was invited, and it was greeted with great applause. Times change.
You Jack Flowers?
Yeah, that's right.
Friend told me to look you up.
Uh-huh.
Said you could help me out with something special.
How much you want to spend?
What did 50 get me?
Get your dick.
There was a fad, maybe more than a fad, a few years ago of bringing out what they used to call the director's cut of a film, calling it therefore a new film, and you could make additional money. So Peter called me and said, Roger, let's bring out the director's cut of St. Jack. And I said, Peter, the picture is the director's cut. This was the cut you made. What are we going to do? Are you going to say I told you to cut something out? Anyway, we decided, since the picture really was the director's cut, not to bring out a director's cut.
The doctor asked him, what do you do for a living? The guy says, I work in the circus. I give enemas to elephants. The thing is, to give an enema to an elephant, you have to shove your arm up its ass. The doctor says, that's it. You give up your job, I guarantee you the rash will go away. The guy says, what, give up show business?
St. Jack was an excellent film when it was made, something like 35 years ago, and it's almost a better film now because it still has the quality it had, but it is also an accurate window on what life was like during the Vietnam War, so it has an added quality.
You choose him.
Oh, Mr. Flower, everybody has their own preference in sex.
I'm very happy that St. Jack is coming out on Blu-ray. It's come out on just about every other type of distribution, and this is the key way to distribute a film today.